Okay, well, I'm Tyler. My tag is Fuzz, and I play Mewtwo in Project M. I got into the competitive scene. I was at A&M in College Station for university, and there's this like student center, and I would see they'd have all these couches and big like plasma screens, and I would go down there to play Marvel and Street Fighter, and a lot of the time I saw the Smash game that looked a lot like Brawl, and then it was once I started paying attention, it was way faster. So I kind of sat down. They all seemed friendly. Started playing a little bit. And one thing led to another. Like, dragged me in. Probably, God, I feel old. Like, roughly 3. Probably 2 and some change. Closer, but at least 2 years. To me, what the Smash scene is in Houston for Project M, it's kind of like a family that you can just go and hang out with. You don't have to worry about a test you bombed, about a job you didn't get, about that crappy day at work. You can talk about it if you want. You're always welcome to, but at the end of the day, it can just be people playing video games, or it could be people supporting you from across the country, just unconditionally. There's some kind of... It's probably because we used to like play on CRTs, like locally, and there's not really a great net play option until recently, that it's just, you have to make that connection. You have to connect with everybody you play with for the most part. No, that was a happy accident for everyone involved. So I got flown in from crowdfunding. So that was already fantastic. It was like a survivor style kind of thing where for about a month, the person with the least money would kind of get voted off the island. Whoever had the most money would stay in. Well, after about a week, everyone had like $400 and they said, you know what, everyone gets out. So that was already kind of like the best case scenario. So I fly in on Wednesday, get to hang out at the balcony Wednesday night, Thursday. There was a training day kind of thing on Friday. Then pools on Saturday, it was top 64 on Sunday. Now, by the time that it was Saturday, I was sick and tired of Smash Brothers, in all honesty. I had done nothing but been stuck at this stupid house with like way too many people with not enough setups. It was really fun to get to play friendlies with everybody, but like there was so much downtime and it was so crowded that that downtime was not fun. So, getting to the Cal Poly Pomona on Saturday, that was a relief because it was a lot more open air. My pool, I played Bunt 2-0, then I played Young Matt 2-0, and when I was playing Young Matt, Fearless was actually sitting next to me, and I was gonna have some trouble with, like, it was like last stock, decent percent, both games, and he kind of came up to me like, "Are you okay?" Like, I think I don't know. Like maybe I just played too much Smash. I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of it. But so then I go to the AZPM stream, and I get to play Kais. Winner makes it out first seed, loser goes in the loser's bracket, hopefully makes it out second seed. And both games were on Delfinos, and they're both super close, last stock, like at least 80% on both ends. But he SDs once per game, and I ended up taking it 2-0. So I kind of, like, okay, I don't feel fantastic about that. I obviously would have loved to just kind of have won without him SDing, but, you know, we take those. You have to. So that was the end for day 1, and day 2 was where it gets crazy. Day 2, my first set's against Teals. Play him on the main balcony stream. Win game 1. Game 2, it's super close. He thinks he's killed me off of a cape that just has me, you know, like the thing with floaties where it's like, oh, they're dead. They kind of just twinkle back down. And then after that, he was kind of, game 3 was just kind of a wash. He was kind of not into it anymore because it had been just like so emotionally stressful. Just have to like end the game and then kind of like restart and then still lose. After that, I played Gallo. That was 3-1, my favorite. Neither of us were expecting that, in all honesty. That was off stream, just kind of, it was supposed to be kind of like a, maybe 3-1 his favor, but, you know, not really anything special. He felt like he was playing a little stiffly, so like, okay, you know, he has a bad day. I'll take that. After that, I played the Doctor. Now, there's a few doctors in California, and it's stupid. There's Dr. Grin, the Doctor, and Doctor, and they all play different characters. So the Doctor is a Mario player from NorCal. I think he's top 5 on their PR. He's pretty solid. It's just kind of unlucky for him that like he played someone who beat Gallo, because I had 4 games of Mario experience at that point, so I didn't know a ton about the matchup going into the Gallo game, but I knew more than going into the Doctor game, and I was kind of warmed up against the character. Combo weights, how to escape, down throw fair, common like kill setups. So that was 3-0 for me. After that, I played Sosa. Oh, Gallo was the 6th seed also. So this was an upset, but with the way he was playing, it was kind of like, okay, you know, he was playing at not maximum, like that, I can see it. Then I played Sosa, who was the second seed for the whole tournament on the AZPM stream. And this one drew a crowd. The other one didn't because it was kind of in the middle of all the setups, you know, where they have rows and you don't really have much room to stand and watch. This one was off to the side for the Arizona stream, and oh my gosh, I turned around after game 3 and I just see all these people. Like I didn't really hear, like I heard just general crowd noises, but when you turn around and you see it, you can't see out of the crowd. It's like a completely different feeling. So I forget who wins game 1 and 2, but by game 3, I win and it's 2-1, so that means it's 1-1. And there's this really, I think it's this really important moment where we're both last stock like 100-ish, a little more %. Sosa uses shoulder bash on the ground, and with the distance it's gone, it will kill me if it connects. But I have no earthly idea why I did this. I'm not even going to pretend to be cool. I did disable as I was coming down, so that barely nicked his face, Wario's face. So I stunned him right out of it. And you could hear the reaction, the like, oh, in the crowd. Like the actual like video game crowd, too. It was crazy. And after that, I ended up taking that game. And I think that was the first thing that was kind of just like, I don't want to say tilting because you can't like you can't know what emotion someone is feeling. But that's, given his play, that's what I would imagine the first like annoying thing would be. Game 3, we went to Fountain. There was some point where I think that was that game, where I down smashed. He drifted into ledge to recover off of a double jump and trying to like kind of sweet spot it, you know, by drifting. And I was ready with a down smash. And he kind of just died at like 80 or so. That was unexpected. And then after, I won that game. So I'm up 2-1. And these are all best of 5 because the entire top 64 bracket was best of 5 and it was great. So I'm up 2-1. And I hear everyone from Texas who's there. Everyone who's like from either East Coast or Arizona or anybody who like I've met in the event is there like cheering for me. All of West Coast most of West Coast is behind Sosa, like all of SoCal. And then I turn around and I just give, yo, we got 2 games. And by the time I turn around, I see he's on the PM thing where you just run it back. And that was the best case scenario, because that confirms that he's, even if you want to go back to that stage, he didn't ice me off. So it was like, he's not calmly thinking through the steps. Do I want to go back to the stage? He's just kind of most likely getting that kind of, okay, let's go back. And that's something that I think a lot of Smash players are really bad at. They get not necessarily ruled by their emotions, but they don't use the character select screen as a resource. You see this in Marvel all the time. You can't see a set of Marvel without seeing the character select screen at least 5 times. It's really annoying to watch, but it's a good thing for the players. They go back to the character select screen, even the stage select screen, and they kind of just take their time. They go, okay, let me think about this. What happened? What do I do? Do I want to change anything? Go. A lot of Smash players, myself included, a lot of the time, will kind of just go like, okay, where do I want to go? Or just LRAY start and just go back immediately. So after that, I had a hunch that he was kind of just playing on tilt a little bit, and then when he just ran it back immediately, to me it confirmed that, and it kind of gave me a little more confidence, and I ended up taking game 4, so 3-1 over Sosa. It still sounds weird to say, dude. It happened like a full week ago, and it's weird, but so kind of give him the fist bumps, GG's. Then immediately after that, I'll remember this for like the rest of my life. Youngblood, I see him like run up. I'm like folding my controller, and I see him like right over here run up, and I kind of like tilt my head a little bit to look at him, and he's just doing the most Youngblood thing you could imagine. He just got his legs spreading, so he's like down like 2 feet high, just doing like, yeah. Everyone comes up and hugs me. You can pats on the back, say good job. Because that got me into winner side of top 8. That was top 16. Now I'm guaranteed top 8 winner side at the 2nd or 3rd biggest tournament this game has ever had, let alone in the last year and a half. No, Olympus was closer to 200 something. Paragon Los Angeles back in 2015 had just over 400. This was 372 or 373. So this is still like the weirdest thing to me. I beat Gallo and Sosa, and I'm guaranteed winner side top 8. And there's this gap where I don't play at all because I don't want to mess something up. I don't know what's going on. So, Bracket gets. I see Bracket. I see that Thunders is in losers because he had been put there round 2 by Malachi. He made this sick losers run. He's been the alligator like under the bridge. Everyone's getting pushed off the bridge, getting eaten up by Thunders, getting eaten up by. I think Sosa knocked out 1 or 2 people after that set. Like, losers bracket is a dangerous place. Winners bracket's much easier. You have not to diss on Anther, Flip, or Switch, but like when you have Thunders, you have Sosa, you have Malachi. Like you don't want to go down there. So it was Anther and Flip in the other side of winner semis. Me and Switch in winner semis. Losers quarters, you had Young Quaff, who was Meta Knight main, who just kind of got through. He got through blank in winners. I don't even know the full list he got through in losers, but he's made this sick run all the way to loser quarters. He plays Thunders for 7th place, and that did not go in his favor, unfortunately. But he got to play Thomas, so that's good. Then the other. This is for 7th place, Sosa and Malachi. What was it? 3 months ago, this was grand finals at, I want to say the Flex Zone? At some national. This was grand finals. Now they're playing for 7th. This tournament is stacked as hell. Right. Oh my god, I get scared thinking about it, and it's already over. So, it's kind of funny. Switch and I play, out of those 4 sets, Switch and I play last. So Sosa takes it over Malachi. If Thunders takes it over Young Quaff. Flip takes it over Anther, so Flip's in winners finals again. Then Switch and I go up on stage, and I hear this afterwards from one of my friends who was near Switch before the set. He was saying that he heard Kyle saying something about like, "Oh, I got Fuzz in winner semis. Okay, this is gonna be a pretty free winners finals. Let's go." And he had told him, he explicitly told him, "Don't sleep on Fuzz. He beat Sosa and Gallo today. Don't sleep on him." And he was like, "No, it's fine. I beat Frozen all the time." So we play. And at least game 1 is kind of like, okay, he didn't expect this. So I take game 1 with a little bit with a surprise factor. And then game 2, I take him to PS, or I don't ban PS2, and that's my fault. So I die super hard. I get like almost JV3. It's really bad. Then after that, this is one of the funniest things of the entire top 8 to me. Emu Killer, Mewtwo main from 3.0. He dropped him mostly for Meta Knight maybe a year ago. He comes up on stage, tells Kyle, okay, don't ban FD. If he goes to FD, that's fine, because you get neutral there, or something to that effect. Either way, he didn't ban FD due to what Emu Killer said. So, Spacey Mewtwo went to FD. So we got Mewtwo Wolf FD. Lasers are really annoying. That's objective. That's just, they're better on that stage because you can't go around them. But there's a point where, once you get in, if you get a grab, or if you get a fair, or if he messes up, then suddenly that's the stock. There's no reason that shouldn't be the stock. And it's on that stage. Troy from Dallas pointed this out to me. He was watching our set and he saw the player cam. There's some point, it wasn't a last stock, but there's some point where I grab switch at 0 on FD. And I have like a little mini pop off, like, yo, let's go. It's so hard to get that grab, and it leads to so much. He thought it was funny. And after going back and seeing it, it's like, yeah, that's pretty funny. So I take that game, 2-1 my favor now. Then game 4, we go to, I want to say Green Hill Zone. And that goes pretty well for me. I think I'm up. I'm definitely, my memory's really bad. I think I'm up a stock by the end of the game. He tries to shorten the ledge because I had shown that down smash will beat side B to ledge. He teched it the one time I did show it, but I think he just wanted to avoid the situation entirely. He tried the shorten, got the little too shortened. Like, he was the frame early, so he just went like nowhere and just kind of died. So at that point, like, I got off stage and everyone I had met this entire like 4 days I'd been here ran up and hugged me and said, "Oh yeah, good job, good job." And it was this really weird, like, I beat Gallo, I beat Sosa, I beat Switch. I'm in winners finals to play Flip. Like, it was at the 2nd or 3rd biggest tournament of all time. And the best part was most of these people hadn't really even heard of me. So I play Flip. He 3-1s me, and at least some of that's like I don't think he plays them. Anybody who knows them, I don't think he plays a Mewtwo. But between me not knowing the matchup and him just playing better than me, he beats me 3-1. So now I'm down there, it's like, oh no, I've avoided it for so long. I gotta play Thunder's Reign in losers finals. those were some of the best sets I've ever played, just for fun, like entertainment wise. Like it was some of the most entertaining Smash I'd ever played. Thomas has this great factor about him, where he's a joy to hang out with and he's a joy to play with. I almost want to go back to NorCal and just California just to play with him. It's that much. He's one of the coolest people in this scene by far. He kind of has that impression where like he's not really in like he's out of it, but he sees everything that's going on and he's a real homie. My favorite part about the experience was being up on that stage or being on the ACPM stream and just hearing people chant for me. Like, obviously Texas people, it's always great to get support from all your friends down home or, you know, everyone who's there at the event. Because, like, I could basically hear everyone who is, like, watching me at home. Like, I could hear their voices in my head. Like, let's go, Fuzz. Like, I know K-Berry and G-Rabbits, they were watching it together. And Kevin was messaging me, like, after every set, like, are you serious right now? And just every set I played, I got, like, 3 or 4 new, like, messages from any, like, Discord, Facebook, text messages. It was a great experience. But by far, the best thing was being up on that stage against Switch and Thunders and then hearing just fuzz him up, and the crowd reacting. Like, when I get a grab on FD, they react, oh, no. And then everyone who wants me to win, oh, yeah, let's go. It's this, there's nothing more organic than a crowd invested in what they're watching. They're the 9th person in top 8. I'm stealing that from A&M. There's a A&M, at least in College Station, there's not a tradition, but there's a thing called the 12th man, where I hope it's 12. I'm going to look really stupid if it's like 11. But there's a set number of football players on the field. And then the crowd is the 12th man. They are the final player on this team that give the team the advantage. And I always thought that was kind of silly when I was going to A&M, but you can feel it. Between their expectations, their reactions, even if they're cheering against you, it's like, oh, shut up. I'm going to make you shut up. It's this beautiful creature that we all kind of come together to form, and then as soon as top 8's done, it kind of like slowly like fades away until the next major. Oh god, story time. This is the stupidest story I have. So when I first got into PM, like most people, I would imagine, I was a Falcon main because Falcon was like just the most extreme, the most fast-paced character that didn't require B moves. Just kind of the most straightforward and fast and hype and exciting, etc., etc. There's a million reasons why Falcon is a great, like, everyone's drawn to Falcon. Like, you know, if you bring a setup to a college campus, you play Falcon, you're the cool guy. Like, you are the, oh! If you play Peach, nobody really cares. So, I played Falcon. And after I moved back to Houston, when I dropped out of TAMU, I was playing at Insomnia at their old location. They just moved locations, but this is like 2 years ago. I think it was on 1960. The one where it was like on the 2nd level. Yeah. So I had reconnected with a few of my high school friends. We made a little crew, Team Greensleeves. It's just this little Houston/Cypress crew. Just kind of get together. We streamed. We helped out streaming with Smash 4 when it came out for a little while. We kind of helped run the PM scene before Smash United kind of organized. But we so this crew of like 4 or 5 of us. Most of us are friends from high school, and my friend Wilgie, he gets bodied by a Mewtwo in bracket. I don't remember who it was. I doubt they play anymore, unfortunately. But he goes Fuzz, like immediately after the tournament. Fuzz, what you're going to do is you're going to learn Mewtwo. So that way I know what to do against this character, and that way I can body you when you're learning him, and then when you know what to do, I'll know what to do. Well, I stick with the character because one reason. It's the stupidest reason. With Falcon, you have this effect where the better your opponents get, the shorter your lifespan gets. Like, without your input, you can only do so much. You either up B and pray to the left, or you kind of try to wiggle them out and go to ledge. With Mewtwo, especially in 3.0, you can double jump, then teleport, then attack. Falcon can only do like one of those things. So it was this like intoxicating feeling of being able to get back to the stage and just kind of retaliate immediately. You weren't in a severely disadvantaged state once you went off stage. That's kind of a floaty thing, but especially with 3.0 Mewtwo, it was this very safe, very like you always had some degree of power and control. So it really alleviated a lot of the frustration I had with Falcon's disadvantaged state. And at that point, I just stuck with Mewtwo because I don't want to have to play the B and hold in game. That game makes me really sad. And I guess I just kept playing him. Well, now that Lunchables is mostly inactive, Oracle is kind of on the decline. He's also, from what I can tell, he's also lost a passion for the game that you kind of need to really be super competitive. You know, for that top 5% of players in the world, you need this drive to really push yourself to think about the game and practice the game and play the game and really enjoy it. He's, from what I've seen, he's kind of, it's not 100% there for him. He's getting kind of more frustrated with the game. You have Strong Bad moving to NorCal, abandoning his southern hospitality. Yeah, he moved about a month and a half ago, I think. So it's basically for Texas, it's Big Three is me, Fearless, and Luck. And currently, I would argue that I'm ranked first, if nothing else, based on Balc results. So now I got Texas on my back, which is the only way I'm going to be able to do this. But my goal is to win a national. Because that's something that even with Lunchables himself has said that Arlo, or either Arlo or Super Bit Wars that he won, he only considered it like a super regional, not a national. But that is, Texas has never won a national. It's always been East Coast or West Coast, or, you know, they all think they're so important, and good for them if they are, but you can't sleep on Texas. That's the dream, dude. Texas #1. Well, at least a little bit of it is kind of like, not the sinking ship syndrome, but after putting so much time into this game, I don't want to learn Smash 4 because it's so much time, and I don't really appreciate a lot of the skills that are valued in Smash 4. I prefer the PM Melee ones. And then Melee, because the dead zones get to me. Plus Mewtwo isn't really viable. It kind of just, there's not a character that I feel like is a fantastic fit for me, like Mewtwo and PM. If I had to play Melee, or if I was going to play Melee, I'd probably play Marth, just because he's close-ish, but even then, it would take a lot of time and frustration to get around like the different dead zones between the two games. I probably couldn't switch between them very easily. And just kind of the general, when I say the community, I mean how the community plays the game is so different. Project M, you're more likely to do well if you have a general knowledge of the cast. No, obviously if you have a good knowledge of anyone you play, that's better, but if you were going to put in 50 hours to learn the game, you're better off spending 10 of those on your character and 1 hour each on every other character. Melee, because of the smaller tournament cast, it's a much different game. Instead of kind of just going like, okay, that's a pretty good punish on this fall speed, you know, or on this character, edge guard on this character, move on to the next character, you get, how do I kill this character off of one mistake? Because it pays off when you see that character in half of your sets. And the community in general, at the level the game's at, it is objectively at a higher level than PM. Like, I love PM, but seeing two Melee players play, let's say Melee like Marth Fox, that has been honed and refined against the best players in the world for 15 years. You can't get that with PM. Even with technological advancement, you have net play, you have, from the beginning, you have, like, even with new characters, you have like better forums and social discussion outlets. You're not gonna get that much. There's always something you can do that someone else has done, and you can always look to something else to try to refine into your, like, the perfect play style. Whether that's against the player or the character, it's such a sharper point. There are definitely players and matchups in PM that can feel like that, but they're kind of the exception at top level play. Is that, like, you kind of just see good players playing great, as opposed to you see a great Marth playing great against a great Fox. Like, the interaction between the two characters and players is at such a much deeper level, and it's very entertaining to watch, but I do not want to get in that, I don't want to commit to that. It's a lot of time. There's a right thing and a wrong thing, and if you do the wrong thing, you just get punished. which isn't bad, but that's where the game is right now, and that's kind of frustrating to learn. But yeah, so there's some reasons why I love the game. I like watching it as much as PM, if not more. But I wouldn't want to get into it at this point in my life. Like if this was back in like 10-year-old me, GameCube just came out, like, ooh, buddy, let's go. I'm gonna be the best Mewtwo. For Houston PM, I would say the horizon would mainly consist of kind of becoming more of a breeding grounds for regional threats, for, you know, southern threats, but eventually national threats. As best I can, this is going to sound kind of preachy, but as best I can, after I've made third at Bigger Balc, and hopefully I've learned something from that, I want to try to bring everyone up to that level. Just get all of Houston, all of Austin, College Station, Dallas, just bring them up to this beautiful level and make it. The dream is Gulf Coast, Best Coast. I want that to be an undisputable fact. It's going to take a lot of work from, not just from the people trying to improve, but from me and from Fearless and from the community organizers and tournament organizers and streamers. We're going to need a lot of work to get to that point, but that is the current goal outside of our immediate majors. Like, you have LTC in August in Dallas that we're all trying to like go to and level up. You have CCC2 we're running in I think the last weekend of October that we're all trying to kind of get ready to run, let alone compete in. I think in general, Fearless is the one person that knows everything I do. No, he will keep me honest every day. For example, went and got third place at the balcony, beating like 3 of the top 15 players in the world somehow. If you figure out how, let me know. But then I go to our weekly on Thursday, feeling kind of pumped, but unfortunately, he 6-0s me. I get a last stock on 1 game. He forces me to play so well. And just because he knows me, I'm not going to get away with any free crap. I'm not going to get away with any shenanigans. I just have to play well. And that's something that I really wish he would be able to replicate against everyone else. If he was able to attain that level of play and kind of just consistency, he would be top 15. I have no doubt in my mind. If he could play out of city, if he could kind of get past his own blocks and just play at 100% all the time, he would be top 15. But that's still part of the skill set, is being able to do that. So that's not, I'm sure a lot of players, if they could do that, would be top 15, but tons. This is gonna be wild. First off, shout outs to Fearless, obviously. Shahid is like, as I said before, he's the guy who keeps me honest in and out of the game. There was one of the biggest factors in my Sosa and Switch sets was, and even my Thunders and Flip sets that I lost. Shahid was kind of just there in a chair off to the side, super calm, and I'd heard him in my Sosa set. It was like game 2. I think I just lost a game, and I just heard him. For some reason, he just came through the crowd because he's super calm all the time because he's Shahid. I heard, "You got this, Tyler," and just like a super calm, like I was like picking up, like, "You got this, Tyler, right? Like you know, I'll just pay you back later." Like that's what it sounded like, and it's this super calming effect. And for the rest of my sets, I asked if he would just kind of be there in a chair off the side, and it helped so much. Like, just, obviously, there was all of Texas crowd and everyone cheering for me, and it was hype, but just having Shahid there off to the side is this, I can't even, like, logically explain it when I think about it, but it's this calming effect that just goes like, okay, it's fine. Ah, that was so sick. He bodied me, dude. Obviously, shout-outs to everyone I played. Bunt, Young Matt, Kais, Mickey. I played Gallo, Switch, Sosa, Thunders, Flip. Those were all great sets. It was awesome to come and see you guys and get to play you guys in tournament. Shoutouts to everyone I money matched: Sneeze, Arrow, Chevy, and Zeddy. You guys are legends also. Sneeze, you ruined my 4-0. I almost made money off of my money matches, and then I lost 5 because Sneeze was the biggest one. Eric plays that really well. He plays that matchup so well. What am I supposed to do? It's a winning matchup super hard. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, sorry. Shoutouts to everyone at the balcony that just let like 30 nerds crash at their house for like a week. I can barely stand one person for a day. Like, I'll invite someone over to my house and it's just like, please leave, and just put everything right back where you found it. But oh my god, I'd go mental if just 30 people constantly, let alone the like 80 we had for training day, like the post Balc parties, let alone like hosting us, but just like not blowing up and going crazy like anyone else would, but opening up your house to us. Shoutouts to everyone who TO'd and helped volunteer. You have J-Falls, you have Zesty, you have Dojo. Dojo was walking on like a super swollen ankle from like 2 days ago, the entire weekend. He went like immediately to urgent care, and it's like super. The pictures on Facebook it's almost like cartoony how bloated his ankle is. He'll be fine, but it's just it's funny because that's like a visual representation of all the work he's putting in. Like at like 1 in the morning before day 1, I was trying to go to bed, and on the couch in the garage, and at some point some guys come in and like they start taking out the setups, and I'm going like, oh, they're just getting them ready for tomorrow morning. Let me help them out. It'll be 5 minutes. No. They're not getting ready for tomorrow morning. They're doing it now. You got J-Falls with about a dozen CRTs in his pickup truck, driving all around town, offering to pick up people setups for them and drive them to the venue. They didn't sleep. There's at least that night, let alone day 2. SoCal is so spoiled. It's not that the players don't know, but you can't know. Like, it's just this TO thing. You can't know how much work your TO puts in. If you do, they're probably doing something wrong. Like if you see everything start to fall apart, it's already fallen apart so much worse. That's a TO thing. Just you'll have someone come up to you and say, like I did to Dojo, say, dude, this event's going great. You're awesome. This is going fantastic. Thank you so much for running this. He's like, no, this is going horribly. Like everything's gone wrong. It's all falling to shit. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, no, it is. You just don't see it. But that speaks so much to the dedication and just literal man hours put into this tournament. You had J-Fall's mom making literally 500 sandwiches. Just making 500 sandwiches so that way everyone on day 2 would have food. That's her hobby, and that's what she likes to do, and that's just what there was no precedent for that. She just wanted to help. That's ridiculous to me. You had so many volunteers. I can't even begin to name them all. But anyone in the red shirt, day 1 and 2, they're just helping out. Everyone who took a Balc shift. Balc was like one of the highlights of the tournament. They had SoCal has a like sun costumes, like a torso kind of thing. Balc Bro Sun. And they have a little fake Facebook thing for him. And they had him going around all day on the tournament. And he would kind of chill with people. Be like, hey. He'd body people in Smash because Nino's a legend. They had a Smash ladder thing going on, and Balc Brosun was in it. And he was Nino. He's a good player, and he was like in the thing and just beating people. They were like, I just lost to Balc. Me too. Shout outs to homies from Canada, Odds and Dylan. It was awesome to hang out with you guys, especially the airport waiting for DF. Daniel's getting lost at LAX. Shout out to Adrian for picking us up from the airport. Cameron for dropping us off at the airport. It was Rob for hanging out with you the entire weekend. All the Mewtwo players for getting to see you guys and signing my the Mewtwo trace I got from Mars. Shout outs to Texas, obviously. Everyone that was cheering for me at home, at the venue. Everyone that's cheering for me that wasn't Texas. Dude, this was like one of the most heartwarming things I've ever seen in my life. I was hanging out a little bit with Muckfather on before day 1 and before day 2. Super chill guy. Marshall, super chill guy. All of the Midwest players I met were just awesome guys. Super fun to hang out with. Top 8, like right as it's starting. I don't remember who it was, but someone kind of like comes over, like I'm in like the front and the right. Someone like comes over and it starts like quietly until I can hear it. Fuzz life, fuzz life, fuzz life. And it was just, it's stupid, but it was the most heartwarming thing. Because Midwest has Muck Life. That's like their Midwest chant. Everyone's Muck Life, and that's just what they do for their Midwest boys. And it was so like moving that I had been accepted into this family. Like it was, I can't do it justice. I was tearing up like 5 times before top 8. I had to stop checking my phone. Everyone's writing like essays to me, like, dude, I don't care if you've gone this far, just play your best. Like, I can't do this. Like, Ray J was just like, hey, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. But it's just, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And that is, I have no doubt that's going to keep, very few things are going to top that. That's just, it was incredible in every sense of the word.